We've all been told to be consistent, to talk about our journey, and to create relatable content. But what if those are actually blocking us from attracting our dream clients? I know they sound empowering. I know they sound like they should work, right? But I know for myself as a sensitive spiritual entrepreneur that I have to be able to do messaging my way. I have to be able to show up and talk about the things that I want to talk about without putting myself into a box. Otherwise, I just don't want to do it. I don't want to show up. I don't want to write the content, write the emails, unless I can actually be myself and talk about what I want to talk about. Right? So in this episode, we're going to talk about the 3 big lies that I am seeing perpetuated within the marketing industry and how they're actually working against you, especially depending on your design, and how we can shift those, right? Hey, if you don't know me, I am Rachel, your human design and messaging expert. And on this channel, we talk all things human design, messaging, AI, how to create your most magnetic message. So let's just get into it. Like and subscribe, do all those things. And let's talk about the first lie. All right. The first one is being consistent. Now, I get where this comes from. I really do, because there is a certain element of you have to show up if you want to sell your stuff, right? You have to show up. You have to put yourself out there in some way, shape, or form and market your business. And even if you don't like it, you got to market yourself. But when we start talking about consistency, most people will say, well, you got to show up every day and sell every day. You got to write multiple times a day. You have to write your email list. You got to be on every single platform and be omnipresent and all of these things, which honestly, for projectors, for manifestors, for reflectors and generators, maybe a mani gen or two, honestly, everyone, if that can actually burn you out, because if you're simply creating content to be consistent and fill a void, you're not actually putting anything out there that is going to be attracting to your ideal clients. It's just more noise, right? So yeah, you could be consistent. Yeah, you could force yourself for the next 90 days to post something every week. But is that actually a strategy, or is that just you trying to overcompensate for the lack of belief and lack of confidence in what you do? If you truly believed that what you do is freaking phenomenal, you don't feel the pressure to show up every day. You show up when you're like lit up, which is probably pretty freaking often, which is my case. I show up a lot because I'm actually excited to talk about what I want to talk about, right? But I also take time off. I also pull back when I don't need to be visible all the time. I pull back when I have things going on in my family, right? I don't show up all the time. And if I were to put a parameter on, I have to show up every single day and hold to that, you know how much freaking pressure that is? Like, that feels horrible. I don't want to do that. I don't want that for you, right? So we have to understand our human design to really get at how much, like, what is actually consistent for you and with your energy, right? We're going to speak to our energy. We're going to trust ourselves. We're going to show up when we're excited and lit up. And inside the club, I'm just going to plug it right here, is that inside the club, we actually figure out what is the strategy? What is consistent for you? What makes the most sense, right? What are you launching? What are you selling right now? That determines so much of how much you show up, right? Do you have an audience? Do you not have an audience? There's so many parameters to this. To just say be consistent in your content is so oversimplified. It's crazy. Like, just drop that I have to be consistent out of your brain. Okay. All right. Lie number 2 is making it relatable. How many times has someone said, just be yourself, just make it relatable, talk about what you do every day, blah, blah, blah. Blech. I honestly, there's a lot of my life I don't share. I am a 6 line. I'm kind of a private person. I don't want to put everything out there. I don't feel like I'm an influencer. Maybe if you're an influencer, you're sharing all of your life, but I'm not. I am a business owner. I am a mom and a wife and a homeschooler. Like, all of those aspects of myself don't have to be plastered all over the internet. So being relatable, honestly, it doesn't sit well with me. And maybe it's the sixth line, maybe it's the many gen, maybe it's my 1648. Like there's so many different aspects of our design that influence how we want to show up, what we want to talk about, um, and how we want to do it, right? So to say that if I'm not relatable in my content, then no one's going to buy my thing. No, not at all. Like if I have an amazing offer, I communicate it clearly, people buy it. It doesn't matter if they know about the fact that I homeschool or not. They don't care. They care about the offer, right? But that's my design, right? If you have something more in your design around storytelling and it being about your experience, and what we're going to talk about storytelling, but more of your design is around sharing your experiences and what you're going through, third lines, I'm talking to you, then yeah, sharing things that are more relatable 100% gets a ton of traction. Right? It all comes back to your design every single time. You can't just take this blanket advice from gurus on what worked for them. It worked for them because maybe being relatable, they were a third line. And so it made sense, right? So they're telling everybody else, just be relatable. But if that's not in your design, it feels like, well, I don't know how to do that. And that feels weird. And maybe that makes me a bad marketer. No, it doesn't make you a bad marketer. It does not. It makes it that you're trying to do something that is not in your natural alignment. It's not in your nature, right? Okay. The third one, storytelling. This one gets me every time. And I love story brand. I get it. I get it. I have read story brand. I've read a couple other ones about telling your story, right? Yes. And like, again, there are actual storytelling channels and gates within the human design chart. And if you have those, yeah, storytelling, you're going to be like, yeah, I love telling stories. And I'd be like, meh, I don't. I have none of those channels, none of those gates. It does not. I'll talk about my expertise. This is what my human design is all about. It's about my wisdom. It's about my knowledge and what I understand, right? I come from that perspective and I back it up with storytelling, but I don't lead with storytelling. When your design is storytelling, then yes, you lead with storytelling. And this is why we can't just take someone else's guru advice. I'm going to say it over and over. We have to be able to understand what is our alignment, what is our way of communicating, and starting with that. And then we can apply all these other strategies on top of it. This is what we do in the club. This is what we do when we understand our human design first, right? Applying it to our message and what we want to be known for and our offers, right? And then taking AI and amplifying the hell out of it. So it makes our life so much easier and we can show up when we want to show up and make the kind of money that we want to make and have the impact that we want to have, right? So I just want to share the club is open right now, but only till April 25th. And then the doors are closing for this round. It is going to be freaking unbelievable. Like women that I have coming in are just blowing my mind because they are the women that have a deep purpose for their business. This isn't just a business to make money. They're doing it because they have like a pull, a heart pull saying, this is my soul's work. This is what I'm here to do. I'm here to help other women. I'm here to help other people. And I just need to know how to communicate it. I just need to know how I can show up and be myself and make money. That's what we're doing in the club. I give you all of my tools and frameworks from understanding how to identify your unique selling point, what you're known for, your brand voice, and offers, and how to create an offer that actually gets people to say, hell yes, I'm in. Writing sales pages, that's the bulk of the content, right? But you can either choose one standard level or that's just the content and the community that helps. You can ask questions. I'm there in the community, or you can choose the VIP and want a weekly group call with me where I'm deep into your business. There are only 10 spots for that. This is where the magic is happening, where we're taking messaging to a whole different level. We're talking about it in a completely different way. This isn't your old marketing salesy tactics. This is truly showing up as yourself in your authenticity, really being the beacon that people are looking for without creating messaging from our conditioning, without scarcity, without tweaking, without worrying about, am I saying the right thing? Because you know you're saying exactly what you came here to say that only you can say. The club. Enrollment's open now. I would absolutely love to see you there. But that's it for today. Check out this video, wherever it is, all about why your offers aren't selling. And I'll basically tell you what is going on, what is happening, and why you're putting offers out there and they're kind of lackluster, not getting the traction that you want. That video is going to help you. So that's it for today, my friends.